dog, look at me in my work clothes. Come on. This is what 20% does. This is what 20% body fat does. No, you won't be on Men's Health as a cover, but you'll be able to walk into work with more self esteem, more energy, more sense of responsibility, all because you decided to start walking 8,000 steps a day. 8,000 steps a day is what got me here. Now I got obsessive. I'm not gonna lie. So I eventually was like, can I do 10K? Can I do 11K? Can I do 12K, 15K? I had some days where I went up to 20K. So my average went from probably just around 5,000 steps when I was closer to 30% body fat, 217 pounds, 6 foot, and I just wanted to primarily focus. I wanted to, there we go, primarily focus on just existing, just living. And honestly, I was depressed. I was unemployed. I wasn't sure what to do. Now I got a job, right? So now it's 9 to 5, and I changed my mindset and mentality prior to that, right? And I was able to track that with my steps. So by tracking my steps, I was able to see, okay, February 9th, 2026, there was a shift because I was 211 pounds, but in the month of February, my average steps went from 5K to 8K because I was like, I just need to go on a walk with myself. I need to go on a walk with God. I need to be able to really just have a conversation with myself. I'm putting headphones in just so people don't stare at me. But I was like, I need to go to the beach. I went to Manhattan Beach. I'm just looking at the beach in Manhattan Beach, and it's just beautiful. I'm looking at God's wonder. I'm looking at the endless opportunity called the ocean. I live in California, so the Pacific Ocean. It'd be great to go to Manhattan, New York, but I just go to Manhattan Beach instead. And I'm able to see the beautiful homes, the multi-million-dollar homes. I'm inspired by these multi-million-dollar homes. I'm inspired by the fathers walking their kids. I'm inspired by the husbands walking with their wives. I'm inspired by the people who are running and who are fit, right? I'm inspired by them. And I was like, look, I've been working out. I've been running 5Ks. I've been, eating better than most. And I was still closer to 30% body fat. And then I started walking 8K steps on a consistent basis. Consistency being daily basis. To where the point to where my Apple Health app says my average is above 8K. And then that's when I started going from 30% to 27% body fat, 27% to 25% body fat. And then eventually it was like the stomach is pretty much flat. And that's when I was like, yo, I'm here. And in all my work clothes, people were like, okay, you looking a little muscular, looking jacked, right? Just off of hitting 20% body fat. And I was like, yeah, boy, let's freaking go, dog. So that's been exciting for me, and I just wish 8K steps upon you. I encourage you to not just watch this video, but to get up immediately afterwards and go walk around the block for 10 minutes. So no, I'm not encouraging you to walk 10,000 steps in one session. That's a lot. That's a lot. What I'm encouraging you to do is walk around the block 10 times at 10 point times throughout the day. Because getting steps throughout the day creates an active lifestyle. It creates a lifestyle where you're prioritizing fitness and activity and movement in your life. And that's absolutely important. By doing that, I know I stick out because I wear a suit every day. And I wore a suit in November before I even got a job in March. So I started working out consistently in February, and then I had to figure out how to keep that fitness consistent while I'm at work. And I'm over 35, man. So, I make these videos for men who are in their 30s who are looking to be able to look good in their polo and get down to 20% body fat. What are my systems for doing that? Straight up, it's 8K steps a day. When you go into the gym, it's 100 reps. Okay, so like everything I do in my fitness journey, my fitness plan is focused on 100 reps. So the next step, so 8K steps, 100 reps of everything. And then third is tracking everything that you eat. The good, the bad, the ugly, the drinks, Okay, so this is 5 calories, right? It's a venti mocha. I'm sorry, venti mocha, venti iced coffee. You got to get rid of the mochas, man. I drank a mocha yesterday, and I was like, yeah, I haven't had a mocha in a minute. Let me see what this is hitting for. Found a local coffee shop. I love to support local coffee shops. I'm a big fan of small businesses. Um, but man, it was like 500 something calories, dog. And then my colleague gave me one as a gift. I was like, oh, this is great and delicious. But this is 1,000 calories by noon. And I haven't even had food. I didn't even eat, right? I'm a big fan of track everything that you are eating, track it all. And so I'm tracking these mochas, these 16-ounce mochas. Shout out to South LA Cafe. Mwah, delicioso. I can't think of the other one. The other one's like on Vermont and like Florence. Over here in LA, South LA. Uh, but yeah, so nonetheless, man, I was like, that's ridiculous. So then I ended up going the whole day without eating. I was like, I might as well just eat dinner, because at this point, I'm tracking all my calories. I know that I'm at 193 pounds. Um, as I continue to kind of fluctuate between 188 and 193, depending on how much water I have, what I've eaten that day. That keeps me between 19.5 to 20.5% body fat. So it's like, all right, I'm basically between 19 to 21% body fat. And I honestly, I feel like I'm kind of at a stagnant position here, where it's like I reached my goal of 20% body fat, and I'm kind of hungry for more. And so it's like 8K steps, 100 reps of everything, and tracking every single thing that I've eaten without getting too particular into the diet, without getting too particular into the weightlifting workout, without really pushing myself to do much more. And now I want more, now that I'm at 20% body fat. But as far as like my figure and clothes, like if I get 6-pack abs, you're not going to see that through my shirt and tie. If I get 6-pack abs and I go down to 10-12% body fat, like that's going to be for the weekends, that's going to be for the summer, that's going to be for going out. And this is just what my imagination says, because for me, it was really like I wanted to just have consistent daily habits that show that I can keep promises to myself. And the best thing that I can do is be in good health, rich or poor, employed or unemployed. Like, being in good health is the key. And it just sparked this identity shift. It sparked this 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 new mentality of mine. It sparked an increase in self-esteem, energy, and my sense of responsibility to myself and others. And I just find that absolutely amazing. I find that empowering. I found that exciting. I can't stop talking about it. And doing so, it's helped me actually even acquire personal training clients, people who are like, I want to get to 20% body fat. They really want the identity shift. They really want the energy. They really want this sense of responsibility. Like they want my confidence, right? And it's much more than just working out, but like that's foundation. 8K steps, 100 reps of everything, and tracking every single thing that I eat allows me to be so focused and so aware. I haven't eaten above 3,000 calories in probably like 4 months. And so I just encourage you to track everything that you're eating. And if all of this seems like a lot, then just do one thing at a time. For a month, get 8K steps in a day. Then the next month, start doing 100 reps of everything. And then the next month, track every single thing that you're eating. And you will now have built the habits necessary to have full awareness of what you need to do in your life. Let's just see where your life and your body goes. In the last 4 months, that has transformed me. I encourage you to give yourself 4 months of just baseline transformation, right? Easy way to cut off a lot of fat and calories is to just stop drinking alcohol and stop and delete Uber Eats and DoorDash from your phone. I had to delete Uber Eats, bro. because if Uber Eats is on my phone, I'm going to eat more. I'm going to order more. And now I'm looking at my money. I'm looking at my investments. I'm looking at my patterns and habits and finances. Just like I track every step, I'm starting to track at a next, at the, every dollar. That's the next level. And I love who I am and who I'm becoming. And I'm starting to think so much clearer about who I am and what I should be doing on a consistent basis. So I love y'all. Continue to be great. Continue to be consistent with your 8K steps a day. Continue to lift 100 reps of everything. You're doing bicep curls, you're doing shoulders, get 100 reps total, or 100 reps per exercise if you want to go, ham for real. I probably get at least 300 reps in this morning, and I did shoulders. I did 100 reps on the hanging raise, leg raises, knee raises. I did 100 reps of bicep curls. And then I did 100 reps total of shoulder workouts, where I started off with compound movements and worked my way over to isometrics like lateral raises. And then I did 100 push-ups, because it's calisthenics. Like, you should always be able to do 100 push-ups, 100 pull-ups, 100 dips, 100 leg raises. I count shorties as well. So I'm like, half reps, partial reps. Like, a rep's a rep, because that's better than zero. And that's why I'm like 8K steps. Even if I don't hit 20K steps in a day, that's fine. But 8K steps is the beginning of when you start to officially cut. Right? Under 8K steps, you're average, and you're not cutting weight. You're not cutting fat. And one thing we're not going to do out here is be fat. Mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. No, we're going to be fit. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. And everything that we do. Excellence. And we're going to do all that we can do each day. All right, man. Peace and Afro Grease. It's your boy Miles Rashad, man.